Hi, this is Mark de Jong, CDN Alliance. Welcome at the Stream TV show. Sitting here with Tom. We just had a session about edge computing. Just want to do a couple of key takeaways that we had with the session that we had. So the first one is about use cases. So there are a lot of different use cases that you can do with edge computing right now. Not all of them are commercially viable right now to actually be used, but there are already a number of different use cases there edge is actually used, and you do have a lot of experience in this. Can you highlight a few of them?
I think basically I should start by saying that anything that used to be done via config can now be done via code, which expands the pool of features we can support, but the centralized cloud and delivery model hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there, and it's just that some type of operation are moving closer to end user. Usually those closely tied to delivery. So we see a lot of header manipulation, response adjustments, manifest customization being the most often one, probably related to video. Then there's a lot of using content protection, authorization, authentication, or even DRM. Then there's a big space for growth in content personalization. So we actually work with real-time data about user behavior, what devices they use, where they are, to adjust content instantly based on that information. Apart from those features connected to content and request manipulation, we also see analytics, log aggregation, so it might give us more visibility and intelligence into what actually going on at the edge. So that's the most common use cases we're seeing now. But the heavy lifting, such as transcoding, encoding, storage, still stays in the cloud.
Okay. Well, there's quite some couple of different use cases already that you can actually use. Another thing we touched on during the session was about challenges. I mean, multi-edge, or edge in general, is interesting. There are lots of capabilities with it. It can enhance a lot of stuff, but also has a lot of challenges, right? Whether it's in development, the resources that you need to have, the knowledge, operations, management, the fact that you need to balance with the different CDNs and all having a different type of edge compute that they do. What do you see there in terms of challenges that you think that we should work on?
I'd say firstly it adds complexity at many levels. So there's a lot of engineering effort that needs to go into that, in both deployment and the management of edge computing. So it all comes down to TCO. So you need to make sure, the question always is whether the performance improvements actually justify the resources you put in. The lack of standardization would be the biggest drawback I see right now.
Fully agree.
And, especially in multi-CDN scenarios, which are relevant to all large clients now. So I guess that slows the adoption.
Okay, cool. Another thing we touched at the end of the session was about the future of edge compute, right? I think we all know it's going to stay. We just don't know how it's going to evolve over time. So if you have to paint a picture, look at your crystal ball, what would you say? Okay, that's the future of edge compute.
I'm sure edge computing is going to be the integral part of CDN's offering, so it's going to stay there. There's been more power at the edge, and we'll see more deployments. I think as an industry we need to work harder on the standardization to support the adoption of multi-edge setups basically. But right now we already see WASM-based language support as a standard requirement by some clients, so I'm confident that we'll see more. And the trend of CDN vendors actually becoming a full-fledged complex service organization will only continue with that.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Tom.
Thank you for having me.